Yo, sharp suit, sharper mind in the courtroom zone. Cracking cases like a safe, every charge dethroned. Indiana streets talk, got his name on their lips. Mark Nicholson, the battery man, never let it slip. Fist and fury, claims get tossed in his pit. Deflects accusations, man, quicker than a whip. Prosecutors trembling, they ain't got no plan. Facing down the legend known as Battery Man. From the small town streets to the state's big stand, he got the law in his palm, justice at his command. Mark Nicholson's the man, they call his name in demand. Holding his ground steady, the Battery Man. Battery Man.
I'm attorney Mark Nicholson from the law office of Mark Nicholson, and I'm going to talk about these online community groups, these vigilante groups that are posing as underage kids trying to expose child predators online. Now, there's a recent video from a sting here in Indianapolis by this popular YouTuber who's gaining all this attraction, okay? Now, the Indianapolis Metropolitan Police Department, IMPD, and the prosecutor's office are responding because this Texas-based content creator who has about 12 million followers, subscribers, has operated this sting in Indianapolis to expose this this alleged child molester of some youth volleyball coach who was allegedly communicating with a 15-year-old decoy. But here's the thing. The decoy is not actually a child. It is this person posing as a child. So that begs the question, is this technically a crime because you have someone who is not 14? Because technically two adults could consensually play like they're underage. You know what I'm saying? If you're both over the age of 18, and you could role play and say, hey, I'm 14 years old, and that really wouldn't be a crime. So that's the issue that law enforcement is basically saying, we don't want to be involved in this. Like, it's dangerous for citizens to take actions in their own hands like that, because then you're calling someone a child predator. They could retaliate by shooting you, attacking you, all this kind of stuff like that. Then there's another crime, or you get out of hand. Now you're getting arrested because you get on their property and trespass them, and this, you're setting them up, in a sense, because if the police are not in control of it, then it's possible that this person is manipulating video, or who knows. But the issue is that IMPD has said, hey, we are not going to necessarily prosecute this individual, or they're investigating. Some people wanted them to arrest him right on the spot. IMPD, detectives, the prosecutor's office, all these people were notified, and their response basically has been, if you suspect someone of criminal behavior involving a child or adult, please go ahead and contact law enforcement and let them handle it, instead of you trying to intervene on your own and take on these potentially dangerous situations. So other prosecutors' offices have responded, and you have the Madison County Prosecutor Office, his statement says, we do not prosecute any cases regarding individuals who try to take the law into their own hands. It's too unsafe for them, the alleged perpetrators, or citizens in the community. It's just not good policy, and it jeopardizes the safety of citizens in the community. So that's what the Madison County prosecutor said. There was also Delaware County prosecutor. I have taken a lot of public flack from the groups and their supporters, but the bottom line is I and most prosecutors and law enforcement who have been properly trained in the area believe that their actions are not lawful, and it is not ethical for prosecutors to file charges based on their cases. Now, I'm not exactly sure what he means that they're not lawful or not lawful. I don't think there's necessarily anything against the law that says someone can't pretend like they're underage. Now, if they're doing things, like I said, like hacking people's computers, trespassing, things like that, then I would say that would not be legal. Hancock County prosecutors, the Hancock County prosecutor's office asked all people who are victims of crime or believe they have information about a crime that has or will occur to contact their local law enforcement agency. Henderson County Prosecutor, while we do not encourage vigilante efforts such as to catch a predator, which can create additional prosecutorial hurdles and extreme public safety risks, we have and do review each matter on a case-by-case basis. When the evidence supports the charge, we will prosecute to the fullest extent of the law. The Monroe County Prosecutor's Office is an affiliate of the Internet Crimes Against Children Indiana Task Force, and we are bound to adhere to ICAC operational and investigative standards with regard to these crimes. As such, we will not file a case submitted directly to our office by a predator vigilante group. If a predator vigilante group brought their complaint to a law enforcement agency and was investigated and submitted to our office by the law enforcement agency, we would review the case as we do any other submitted by law enforcement and file it if there was credible evidence to prove guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. In general, we discourage predator vigilante groups from engaging in these confrontations due to safety concerns as well as potential evidence integrity issues, and instead urge citizens to bring suspected instances of child solicitation or other criminal activity to the attention of law enforcement. So basically that's going back to what I was saying earlier, that there is this concern of someone planting evidence, and is, the police don't have total control of all the evidence and operational security and things like that. And then here's this person that's going to potentially testify on the witness stand. Look, the bottom line is this. Anybody should be able to make a complaint to law enforcement, right? Because that's what they do. You don't have to be law enforcement to make a complaint to the prosecutor's office, to make a complaint to the police, to say that you believe a crime is committed, right? Don't really have to do that. So I'm not saying I agree with the prosecutor's office when they say, oh, this has to go through the prosecutor's office to be like a valid complaint. Not really buying that. However, I do understand some of the fears and concerns and evidentiary issues and things like that it puts law enforcement and the prosecutor's office in if you have these people out here doing these kind of vigilante group type of activities. The people that are in doing that, I would say you may need to get a lawyer if you're kind of setting people up for that kind of stuff. And then obviously the person that's being accused would need to get a lawyer, because if you're not involved in it, then, there's a potential defamation case. If you are, and you kind of got set up and things like that, and they bring charges, you're going to need a defense attorney to represent you. And the number one rule that I always tell people that over and over and over again is exercise your Fifth Amendment right to remain silent. Do not talk to the police if you're being accused of a crime. Just don't do it. Talk to an attorney first, and then the attorney and you both can decide whether it's in your best interest to talk to the police. Because the incident like this, the person talks to the police and gets in the midst, oh yeah, I did da-da-da, and now they are facing charges because they talked to the police and got in there and said all this stuff. That ends up being very incriminating, and now the police, who may have not had a case, now they have a case. So that's your Nicholson nugget of the day. Exercise your Fifth Amendment right to remain silent. Take care. That's your Nicholson nugget of the day. Please be sure to like and subscribe.
Evidence crumbled, witness tales get spun. Cross-exam game ruthless like it weighs a ton. No plea too steep, argument sharp as a blade. A defense so clear it leaves the jury amazed. He don't stutter, every word sharp and precise. Cracking down charges called a courtroom heist. Law books, his arsenal, his mind holds the plan. Indiana's ace of defense, battery man. From the small town streets to the state's big stage.